Hello, my name is Molly Simon, and I live in South Korea. We're actually in my office right now. So if you hear kids yelling in the background, they are running in the hallways. So to start, because I do live in South Korea, I have learned Korean. I think that I should start with when I grew up, I was learning Mandarin Chinese because my dad spoke Chinese because he worked there. And so, growing up with the idea of how Asian, specifically East Asian, languages are organized, when I learned Korean, the grammar and the setup was not really the hard part for me. Rather, it was the cultural context in which you would use certain phrases. For example, there's this kind of joke that people tell about foreigners when we go to funerals in Korea. When we go to a funeral in America, we say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and that's totally okay. But in Korea, you do not say "I'm sorry," specifically in that context, because it sounds like you were actually the one that killed the person, which is not a good situation. And so I found that certain phrases like "I'm sorry," holding doors open, and the honorifics that come with Korean, that was definitely the hardest part for me. And to speak about another language that I learned, French was also very difficult because of the pronunciation. Specifically for me, because I grew up with Asian languages, I speak French with a Korean and Chinese accent, which is rather odd. And it's very difficult for me to speak with the correct pronunciation because it's kind of been ingrained in my head to speak a foreign language with a foreign accent of Asian because that's what I learned. And so I found that that was very difficult. I think that, yeah, definitely the culture and the culture for the Asian languages, and then the pronunciation for French, a European language, that was definitely the hardest part for me. To talk a little bit more about my experience and about myself, I do work and live in South Korea. I teach first and second graders. They are very cute. And I teach them writing and speaking, and so I specifically focus on their accent and their ability to write five-page essays. And so that's just a little bit about myself. I am from America, if you can't tell by my accent. I was born and raised in Kentucky, and that's a little bit about myself.